been pretty quickly.
Because they thought you were not going to live for a year, didn't they, some of the doctors, when they first diagnosed this?
They thought it was a tough case, 50-50, coin flip. I don't want to do it again.
Yeah. How did you feel?
I made one coin flip
How
okay
did you
so far.
feel, though? Because I think it's so important for people these days who find out that they have cancer to understand that this is no longer the death penalty automatically when you're told you have cancer. Because every day and every way they find new and better ways to treat these diseases. And we all know, and every expert who has anything to do with cancer will tell you that if you put enough money into the research, eventually they will find a cure for cancer.
Right.
But what I thought was so interesting in your case is you didn't just take this as the death penalty. You grabbed hold of it, you decided to fight it, you basically did just what you did with a bicycle.
Well, I looked at it as if it was a race or as if it was a competition. So it was me versus him or her or it being the disease. And so I absolutely hated him or her or it. And when the blood work came back or the tumor markers came back that I was getting better, I felt like, well, I'm winning. You know, scoreboard says I'm winning. When the chest X-rays would come back and I would see the tumors in the lungs starting to shrink, I'm starting to win. So I took it. I really viewed it as a fight. You know, and I think also, the reverse happened too when I was put back into the sport. I viewed my sport as a win or lose deal. I mean, there was when you're diagnosed with cancer, winning and losing is living and dying. Mm-hmm. And so the biggest fear there is dying, which is losing. So my biggest fear when I came back to race was losing.
You also, and I thought this was a very unusual thing, you began talking while you were being treated with chemo about putting together some kind of a foundation or something. Tell us about that and how you did that and why you did that.
Well, we started the Lance Armstrong Foundation, over a little four-top at a Mexican restaurant in Austin, Texas during the chemotherapy. And at the time we thought, okay, you have a small population of young men that get this disease, 7,500 cases a year. We can do something to help them. In the state of Texas at the time, they had just removed, just to give you an example, they had just removed the diagrams or the illustrations of a testicular self-exam out of the public high school's textbooks. So I remember thinking, well, of course they have all the other illustrations in there. I remember thinking, well, this isn't right. Let's just get that back in there and we can say we did a good job. But then it just grew and it evolved, and we expanded to other urological cancers, and it expanded more into survivorship and now into advocacy and other things. And it's been 10 years. We've raised over $200 million, and wow. It's been something. I mean, yeah, it's been. I remember when we got our first $1,000 check. I thought, and we ran around the office for about an hour. It was the greatest day. And then we can get into the story of the yellow band, but the yellow band is what...
We'll talk a little bit about that, the yellow band.
Well, of the 200 million, 65 million of those dollars was the yellow band. And I'll just tell you a brief history of the yellow band. We were approached by Nike back in 2004 for the idea to take a little rubber bracelet, make it yellow, put Livestrong on it. They would give us $1 million donation to start, and also give us 5 million yellow wristbands that we could sell for $1. 5 million of them. And I'm thinking, first of all, I don't really want to wear this thing because I was a little superstitious. They wanted me to wear it at the tour. I'm like, I'm not wearing it until I'm in the yellow jersey. They said, no, you have to wear it. So we started wearing it actually earlier in the year. And the tour happened. That was the year that I broke the record. The Olympic Games happened right after that, which Nike was so great to give the band to athletes from all over the world, all different cultures and religions, and in a really tense time politically and religiously around the world. You saw a lot of really powerful Muslim athletes wearing the yellow band. And after that, I mean, we went through 5 million, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Now we're north of 65 million yellow wristbands. And so it wasn't such a bad idea after all.